not a good picture at all. We're gonna keep it there. Hi everybody, putting up a poll. I have a story to share with you all. I'm putting up a poll. Give me a moment. I was trying to show a photo of the survivor. It's not a good picture, but look, we're gonna work with it today. We are outside, beautiful, beautiful outside. Y'all, I want to share a story with you that I just learned about yesterday about a domestic violence survivor. She did something very heroic, you know, very brave. I don't know how she did it because I would have been so scared. So basically, I'm not gonna read the whole article. I'm gonna try to explain y'all. So a woman out of, maybe I'll wait like 1 more minute till y'all come in. But whoever is watching the playback, I really appreciate it. No one's in the chat right now. No one's in the chat right now. I just wanted to come outside and feel the nice weather, y'all. I should have definitely had a better picture of the background up. But I still like the green screen. We'll start talking. Anyway, y'all, I'm coming to you today about a domestic violence survivor story. Coming to you live. So all credit goes to Fox 6 in Milwaukee. So the story says Milwaukee survivor of domestic violence, woman shares story of recovery. So the story is by Christina Van Zeltz and Fox 6 News Digital Team. It's from March 10, 2025. So that's just Monday. Her name is Juliana Marchena. So this is an older story. This is from back in 2021, but she is still a survivor, and you never forget about stuff like that. So basically, she was in the car with her ex-fiance. She was driving, and she said that he started beating her while she was driving. They were in the Lafayette area. They were in the car with their 2 children. So he was beating her. And next thing you know, she said that he started shooting. So he had a gun on him and he started shooting. She said she grabbed the baby, protected him, and y'all, she threw her baby out of the window. The car is moving, and she took her baby and threw the baby out of the window. I don't know how old the baby was. She does have 2 children. So she threw one baby out the window. So it looks like she was shot 4 times in her back. She was shielding her 3-month-old from the bullets, and she was shot twice in the head. And then he shot himself. So it looks like her fiance was trying to do like a murder-suicide. Okay, I don't know what was his problem, you know, but yeah, he started to beat her. Then he was starting shooting her. He didn't care that they had children in the car. He did not care about anybody. So she, you know, thought fast as she could. And like I said, she threw one of her children out of the window, and she protected the other child with her, you know, with her hands. And from what they said, the 2 children were actually unharmed. So even though the child was thrown out the window, the child is safe, the child is fine, the child lived to see another day. And I don't know how she did it. That was really brave of her. But anyway, she has had multiple surgeries, including receiving a titanium plate that replaced a part of her skull. So her life has been permanently altered by this domestic violence dispute. Every time it gets an infection due to the brain, that is basically she has an infection, and having a titanium in her brain is very dangerous, they're saying. She's only 24 years old. So she was like 21 when it happened. So she said despite her challenges, she's staying strong. So obviously we know that the fiance took his own life. So he's not in prison. Obviously he wanted the easy way out. Just like a coward. Wants to abuse a woman, abuse his own children, and then instead of like going through the justice system to get locked up or whatever punishment they would have give him, he decided to take his own life like a coward. You know what I'm trying to say? You got the balls, you got the energy for your woman and your children to be abusive to them, but you can't even face any type of consequence or punishment for your action. So yeah, a big coward, and a lot of domestic violence abusers are like that, very cowardly. You hear a lot about murder suicides all the time. I've covered a few stories like that of attempted murder suicides. Um, and I'm really thankful that this woman, this very young woman, was spared her life. You know, her life is not the same, y'all. You could tell, she's just not the same. Juliana Marchena, and I can only imagine like what her children knows and what she will have to tell them when they ask questions like, Mom, like, what's going on with you, Mom? Why is your head like that? Why are you so injured? And where's Daddy? Can you imagine her having to answer to her children like, where is my dad? Like, where is Daddy? Well, your dad tried to kill us, and then he killed himself, and I had to do the best I could to save you all. And I'm sure the children will very much be thankful and grateful for her. But like, that's just messed up to know that your dad was unstable and tried and didn't even care about you enough to spare your life. I mean, to try to leave you out of it in a moving car. That's already a dangerous situation. Fighting someone, beating someone in a moving car, and then trying to shoot them is horrible. You guys, if you're wondering what the background is, it's the hospital room of Juliana Marchena. Let me show you the picture that is up there. So it's just her laying in the bed. You can't really see it. I don't know. Let me see if I can zoom in on the picture so I can see what you're looking at. I don't see it anymore. Hold on. Save the photos. Can you tell that I'm not tech savvy, y'all? Okay, so here is the picture. It's very dark, so you can't really see it. But this is the picture that is my background. It's just Juliana Marchena in the hospital bed. Hi, Apache. Thank you so much. So I just can't imagine like being a mom so young and then being in a domestic violence situation and being severely injured in your life, permanently altered. Thankfully, she has her mom there to support her and her children. And it's funny because her mom, not funny, haha, but her mom said while the domestic violence situation was happening, like she sensed something was going wrong. Like, I guess like mother's intuition. Yeah, we know we can't fix the world, but we can do what we can. Okay, I'm not gonna see the glass that's half empty. I'm gonna see the glass that's half full. Okay, there's a lot of things we can't do, but there's a lot of things we are able to do. So yeah, the mom said that she like felt something was off. She said even though she was not there, her mother said she knew something was wrong. She said, I tried calling her. She didn't answer the phone. It's not like her at all. And Juliana Marchena said that her fiance, even though he tried to take her life, I mean, at the time she felt like he was the love of her life. She said that here. I'm sure she never expected somebody to do that to her that's supposed to be the love of her life. Unfortunately, there's no backstory to her story. It's not saying like what was the red flags, like in the past, how was his behavior. It's just basically the story starts from they're driving the car one day, he starts beating her, and he starts shooting. So I don't know if he was verbally abusive in the past. I don't know if he'd already been hitting her. I'm assuming that it didn't just happen overnight, that he'd already been verbally abusive and probably already been physically abusive towards her. But unfortunately, the article does not say that. Um, yeah, it doesn't matter how it started. What I'm saying is a lot of times there are clues, there are signs that somebody is an abuser, and you cannot ignore the red flags no matter how much you love them. Just like Jenna Lee in one of my very popular shorts said, you know, no matter how much you love them, how much you care about them, you cannot go back. If they hit you once, they will hit you again. Ladies and gentlemen, if they hit you once, they will hit you again. All right? Do not go back because you think that you're so in love. Don't go back because you think they might change. Let an abuser change on their own. You cannot predict their mind. Someone who is physically harming you, someone who's verbally abusive, something is going on with them, and you cannot take that on yourself. You cannot like blame yourself for their actions. They're choosing to do that. Um, some people you cannot fix. So thankfully, her abuser, thankfully Juliana Marchena's abuser is no longer here with us, so there's no chance of him harming her. You know, but she's really messed up because of that, physically, emotionally, and everything, because who knows if she's going to want to entertain any type of future relationship with a man. She's a single mom now with 2 children. He made her a single mom. Um, you know, I hope that this lesson, this experience, let her know that, you know, there's certain red flags, there's certain things in men that you should not ignore. And now that she's a single mom with two children, it's a vulnerable state, because you're not just dating for you. When you're a single parent, you're not just dating for you, you're dating for your children. So now that she's a domestic violence survivor, she has to be extra careful, because you know there's might be another man out there who wants to take advantage of her and her children, and her even telling them what happened to her might make them like pretend and wear this mask like, oh, I'm so different, I would never do that to you, and then come to find out he's just as abusive. So I really hope that she takes this time to completely heal as much as she can. Even though I know that her brain and everything is not the same, I hope that she doesn't feel like she needs to be in love, she needs to be in a relationship. This is a very traumatic experience. You know, I would hate for her children to be involved in anything else. So I just hope that she's too preoccupied with her healing mentally and physically to even think about dating, because those children are very vulnerable, you know. And it's not her fault what her ex-fiance did to her. It's all on him. But I do hope that her story is a lesson to other young people that just because somebody says they love you, if it's not followed up by actions, it's not really love. Love does not hurt, okay? Hi, Ali. Love does not hurt, y'all. You cannot excuse poor behaviors of people because you love them. You can love people from a distance. You can forgive them from a distance. You don't have to forgive someone and then like, hey, I forgive you for all those horrible things you did to me. Now come back into my life and let's act like nothing ever happened. Don't do that. They're only going to get worse. They're not going to respect you. They're going to think like, oh, okay, she's a dummy, so I'm going to keep on doing what I do. You have to show people the first time. The first time somebody disrespects you, the first time somebody puts their hands on you, that needs to be the very last time. An abuser is going to always try to see what they can get away with. Let me see, if I do this, will she stick around? They're going to keep trying you. You got to let them know the first time, I'm not down for that. And if they put their hand on you, don't say, oh, don't put your hand on me again. Don't do that to me, or we're going to break up. No, you need to be done with that person. I don't care how hard it is. I know it can be hard. I know that sometimes you feel like you're so in love with someone and you feel like they're your everything. You feel like you invested so much time into somebody, but there's other people out there who will love you and not put their hands on you. There are other people out there who will love you and not be verbally abusive to you. So the first time somebody puts their hands on you, you need to leave them where they're at. They're not going to change. It happens all the time. There's so many women who wish they could speak from the grave to tell you that it doesn't end well. It doesn't end well. It's just going to get worse and worse. Once they see that you're going to stay with them, they're going to put you through some of the worst things. They're not going to stop. And if any of you out there listening to me right now is in a domestic violence situation, please, I'm always going to let you guys know that you need to call the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and their number is 800-799-7233. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 800-799-7233. And you can also text them. So if you're not in the position to call them and be on the phone, if it's not safe for you, that's understandable. You can also text the word begin. Begin, that's B for ball, E for elephant, G for girl, I for ice, N for Nancy. So text the word begin to 88788. That's 88788. Um, it's just not safe out here, y'all, with some people. Like I always say, love is a very beautiful thing, but some people really just destroy love, and they just twist your mind to make you think that's what love is, but it's not. It's not hurtful. Love doesn't make you second guess yourself. Love doesn't make you feel bad about yourself. Love makes you feel good. So if your partner is physically hurting you, emotionally hurting you, if you're just not feeling safe and secure in that relationship, if they're threatening you, it's just only going to get worse. If they say things like, if you don't shut up, I'm punching your face. Or if you don't, or they're like, if you leave me, I'm going to kill myself. They're manipulating you. You have to find a safe way to get out. You know, the when a woman is trying to leave an abuser, or just in general, there are men who will get abused too. I'm not gonna, yeah, but women do get abused at a higher rate than men. But men are also abused. Men are also domestic violence survivors or victims as well. Um, but when it's time to leave, you have to make up your mind, and don't tell your abuser they're trying to leave, because they will try to stop you. A lot of times when you're trying to leave your abuser, they will try to take your life. And sometimes they threaten to take their own life. They're manipulating you. You got to do what you got to do to survive, but make sure you do it carefully. That's why it's important to call the domestic violence hotline and see if they can give you the support you need and the advice you need to safely escape your abuser. We want you to leave the situation with your life. We want you to leave the situation with your children if you have children. It's even tough when you have children, because a lot of times the abusers want to use the children against you, like, oh, if you leave me, I'm going to take the kids from you. Or if you leave me, I'm going to kill the kids. Or if you leave me, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill you. They make all these threats, y'all. And sometimes they do follow up on their threats. So every threat is not empty. Don't think that, oh, he's threatened to hurt himself or he's threatened to hurt me, whatever. Believe him. If your abuser says they're going to hurt themselves or you or your children, believe them, and you need to back out of that situation safely. You got to come up with a safety plan, and that's why it's important to call the domestic violence hotline. They also have a website. The website for the domestic violence hotline is their website is thehotline.org. Thehotline.org. There is let me see. They can help you come up with a safety plan. It's free, it's confidential, it's 24 hours. So they have a safety plan. It's called Create Your Personal Safety Plan. So once you get on their website, you'll see the option for creating a safety plan. It says a safety plan is a personalized, practical plan to improve your safety while experiencing abuse. Preparing to leave an abusive situation or after you leave. Follow the steps below, okay? So you can't just up and leave your abuser, okay? It could be very dangerous for you. You have to have a plan. You have to have people that's helping you navigate and get through that. There's many women who has tried to leave and didn't make it. You cannot let your abuser know you're leaving. You cannot be packing bags and they know you're packing bags, and you just can't be like, oh, let's have one final talk before I leave you. It's like that triggers them and they want to go off and go ballistic. You got to be safe and careful. So please call the domestic violence hotline. I will mention the number again, y'all. But I am glad that Juliana Machena was able to safely get out of that situation. Again, the domestic violence hotline is 800-799-7233. But yeah, with Juliana Machena, I can only imagine how terrified she was. But she is a really very protective mom. She had to think quick. I don't know if I would have thought to throw the baby out the window. I don't know, but it was quick thinking, and the baby survived. Her other baby survived. Like, she was willing to sacrifice, y'all. This mother was willing to sacrifice her life to save her babies, and that's the sacrifice of a mother. And they made it. You know, her health is not the same. Her you know, her life is completely altered. But her babies live to see many other days. They've been here for years now, and I hope that her story inspires other girls to leave their abusers and to leave at the first sign of abuse. Like, when you see a red flag, they're disrespecting you, they're insulting you, you can't do anything right, you got to walk on eggshells. Like, those are signs that you're not with a safe partner. Those are just some signs that you're not with a safe partner. You shouldn't have to change yourself to be with someone. If they're isolating you from your family or friends, you know, if you can't work, you just can't function, you can't do anything, and they're constantly monitoring you, checking your phone all the time, and like treating you like a kid, like, that's not a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship, you have a right to speak how you know how you feel. You have a right to express yourself, and you have a right to have a life. Your whole life should not be your partner. A lot of these abusers want to isolate you and just be focused on them, and it's harder for you to get help once you're like secluded with them. So those are some signs that you're not in a healthy relationship. I know that sometimes when we've had trauma in our childhood, you know, sometimes you're looking for love and you feel like, oh, he really loves me and that's why he's doing that. No, that's not love. Love is not trying to change you. Love doesn't try to take you away from other people and take you away from things that you care about and just focus on them. Like, that's just selfish. And that's like a narcissist, y'all. Please be aware of narcissists. Um, a lot of abusers are narcissists, if not all of them, y'all. You know, honestly. But this is a very, I didn't play the video. There is a video attached to the article about Juliana Machena. I will attach the article to this video, to this live, so you guys can go ahead and read about the stories. Um, yeah, out of Milwaukee. So again, it happened in 2021, but she's feeling comfortable, brave enough to share her story now. I can only imagine how much surgery she had to have and how much the recovery was. So, you know, I'm sure it just took her time to be able to come out and speak about it. But I do appreciate when domestic violence survivors come out and speak about their experiences, because it can truly like help somebody. When you share your story, you're helping other people. You're helping other people feel comfortable, feel safe. Like, I'm not alone, and maybe my story can help somebody else. But yeah, I really appreciate anybody who came into the chat. I appreciate anybody who gave me a view. I will go live again later, and I have another domestic violence story that I would like to share with you. And I just want to say to all the victims out there, please be safe. Please be careful. All the survivors out there, I'm glad you make it, and I hope you continue to make it and share your story and know that it's not your fault, okay? Don't let your abusers make you feel like something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with them, okay? So just get the help you need, get the support you need, and continue to live a, like, not just in survival mode life, like thrive. But I'm gonna come off my live now. I just want to share that story with y'all. Like, when I heard about it, I was like, oh my goodness. You know, like, especially when she threw the baby out the window, like, the baby could have hit oncoming traffic. Another car could have, you know, ran the baby over. Anything could have happened to the baby. So I was just like, wow, I got to share the story with y'all. This mom just had to think on her feet, and she just wanted to make sure her baby lived. And she did all that she could, and her babies are here. And that's what you have to do as a mother sometimes. And that's why it is careful to pick the right partners. But sometimes you don't know. You know, sometimes it's in hindsight. You realize after the fact, wow, I was ignoring those signs. I was ignoring those clues. Like, wow, he really was like a horrible person. And I ignored him. A lot of times when you love somebody so bad and you ignore their bad traits, you know, it's just a sign that you need to get some you need to speak to a professional about, why are you allowing these abusive behaviors? Why are you ignoring certain things? You know, What are you afraid of? It's just a lot of things we need to, it's a lot of questions we need to ask ourselves, because it's not normal and it's not healthy to accept abuse. But abusers like to normalize abuse and make us feel like we're crazy for not dealing with them, but they're the problem. But yeah. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna come off now. I'm gonna end my poll. So I asked you guys, are you a domestic violence survivor? And 50% of you said yes, and 50% of you said no. So my heart goes out to everyone who is a domestic violence survivor. Thank you so much for, being here. Thank you so much for just continuing to live. That's all you can do, is live and learn from the past. Okay? Please continue to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see y'all very soon. Thank you.